Hey, today I'm talking about 3 Penelope Cruz Spanish films, all made by the same director. And the names of those 3 movies are Broken Embraces, Parallel Mothers, and Volver. First up is Broken Embraces. This is a 2009 film, and the basic premise is it's about this writer/director who 14 years ago went through kind of a traumatic experience with his last film, and now it's him reminiscing on that / trying to heal from that process. And I really enjoyed this film. It was so good. I think part of what gets to me is that it's about the film industry, and those films do have an easy edge up when it comes to me. But the film really is about love and passion and loneliness and what all of those things can really push people to do. And this movie definitely goes to some interesting, wild places with that. Like what people will go to achieve their dreams, dealing with the disappointment of parents, that sort of stuff. Penelope is great as always, but I got a big old crush on her, and when she put on this blonde wig, oh my god. I didn't think my crush could grow larger, but yet there it is in all its glory. Oh my god, Penelope, you are so beautiful. It's definitely got strong film noir vibes and definitely leans into melodrama at times, but I honestly didn't mind. I think it handles it well enough and it feels believable enough in the universe. So even though things would be kind of far-fetched in real life, doesn't feel that way because the world feels real enough. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed this film and would totally recommend it. It's just an interesting story, told really well, great performances, fantastic visuals. It's just a top to bottom really solid film. So yeah, no, definitely enjoyed, would totally recommend. Next up is Parallel Mothers. This is a 2021 film, and the basic premise is a little hard to pin down the best way to summarize it without just spoiling stuff. So I'll say Penelope Cruz does get pregnant, and whilst on the hospital on her delivery day, she meets this pregnant teenager and they kind of form this little bond. And so it's definitely about being the new mother and the pains of being a new mother, and that just kind of pushed to an extreme without getting into specifics of the struggles that single moms go through and the unexpected places it can go to. Because really the whole story was very unexpected and so interesting. I did not really see where the story was going whatsoever, so I was engaged the entire time, just dying to know what's going to happen next. Especially too because there's this whole other story that deals with the rise of fascism in Spain during the lead up to World War II and murders that took place back then. And I'm sure there's definitely a metaphorical connection between that whole thing and the main storyline with the mothers. I'll be honest, I don't know what it is. I didn't entirely understand that. If you do, please inform me. The direct connection, why those things are parallel, why both those stories needed to be told within this one story. But even with that, I still enjoyed both those things separately, and it didn't really hinder my experience with the film whatsoever. Especially too because the last shot of the movie, which I won't say what it is, was incredibly powerful, and it had to deal with the fascism stuff. So it clearly is very important to the film because it is the last shot of the film, and there's even some text afterwards. And it definitely left a lasting impression on me. So yeah, it was very interesting. I will add too, the writer of this film is incredibly good at writing dialogue for women. It feels very natural and realistic. It feels like the real emotions women experience, which makes sense because he's done so many things with women throughout his career. So they would only be interested in him if he writes good stuff for them. But yeah, there's just a lot of pain in this story, and it's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and again, would totally recommend it. It's just a really interesting film. I'd maybe kind of caution against it if you are a parent of a baby, just because it might be a little triggering, but it's still definitely worth a watch. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And lastly is Volver, which means return in Spanish. And the basic premise is how do I even say it? It's wild. I don't want to say what's on IMDb because I feel like that kind of spoils stuff, though I do sort of want to talk about that stuff too. These adult sisters lost their mother 5 years ago, and they're kind of still dealing with the grief of that. And now their aunt has passed away, and that leads to a lot of interesting wrinkles. Okay, I'll just say it. The mother returns from the dead to help guide the daughters through this part of their life. And it was wild. Okay, firstly, what I really loved about the film is Penelope. I mean, I always love her. But in particular, what I loved about her was just like her strong-willed determination. Like, it reminded me a lot of the new film, There's Still Tomorrow, because she's just so strong-willed. She knows how to hustle and how to get things done, and like she'll just kind of do whatever it takes to do the thing she needs to do, which is very inspiring. I just love that in general. It's definitely something that I don't have. So like, I just love that. And then the story itself is just so unexpected and interesting. I really truly loved it. It went to so many different places that I absolutely was not expecting. And then all of the characters really stood out on their own. They all felt like very interesting, unique, individual people with their own speaking styles and their own issues. They really popped as individuals, which I really, really liked. And then the relationships between one another were also very, very interesting. So yeah, no, it was a very unique experience. It dips a little bit into melodrama as well, but I honestly didn't mind because I think it really served the story. So yeah, again, thoroughly enjoyed and would totally recommend. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Broken Embraces sitting at number 18 in the Really Like section. And then after that is Parallel Mothers sitting at number 30, again in the Really Like section. And then bringing up the rear right behind is Volver sitting at number 32, also in the Really Like section. And this is out of a total of 126 old movies so far this year.